What's up, everybody? It's Raine from Initiative Tabletop, and today we're back with another look at a different book from Pathfinder. This time, we're taking a look at the Bestiary 5. Now, the Bestiary 5 came out a little while ago, some time ago, and it released when Hell's Rebels was pretty big. In fact, the back of it is a huge advertisement for Hell's Rebels. So in this Bestiary number 5, you're going to see a lot more monsters and creatures akin to that adventure path. So the cool thing about it that I like is, first and foremost, off the top, the Bestiary 5, it seems like with every Bestiary that comes out, especially with the Pocket Bestiary that they did, they reformatted it somewhat. It seems like Paizo is getting better and better with their formatting. They know this needs to go here, then we're going to flow into this, then we're going to flow into that, then we're going to do this. And I really like that with the Bestiary, because if you're a GM like me, you've got, well, 5 of these now, and each one of them is going to have different information in it. And what's really cool too, something else that I've noticed, is just that they're doing better with referencing previous books. But we'll get to that in just a moment. You're going to have things like, you know, you've got your angels, and then you've got some really new, some cool looking things. Like there's an enemy in here called the Anunnaki, which is essentially this giant humanoid, stone-looking humanoid guy that's got like a robotic suit on. This dude's insane. He's like a CR-18. He really packs a punch. So they've got a lot of new stuff in here, and he just looks kind of like out of this world. And honestly, like, this reminds me of something that I would expect to see in Starfinder, which is something completely different, but it's really cool. But then they also go into like your animals, like your apes and your big bears and your polar bears. Now we have a big giant dire polar bear in here now. It goes through some archons, it goes through some angels. Like I said, I think it's really following that Hell's Rebels kind of deal. And one thing that I like about the Bestiary is that they continue to come up with these really awesome creatures. Each page has a full color picture of what you're looking at. The stat block is getting more formatted. It's easier to read. They're also, from what I've noticed, they're also going further into like just the description of what you're looking at. They're also going into deeper what the ecology of these creatures are, where they come from, how they live and associate, and things like that. But they really get into demons in Bestiary 5. You've got the Abracandilu, the Cambion, the Seraptus demon, which is like this really somewhat sexy looking four-armed demon. And then you've got this thing called the Devastator, which is just a nightmare. So these are a lot of things I would expect to see in Hell's Rebels. You've got your devils and things like that. You've also got your dragons, and a lot of them, they introduce like the Esoteric Dragons. So there's a lot more rules on what you can do with dragons, how to expand them, their different ecologies and things like that. Now, probably like one of the biggest things people were talking about with Bestiary 5 is the addition of the Grim Reaper itself. I like what Paizo has done here, because they've introduced the Grim Reaper not as a single entity, but as multiple manifestations of death itself. So the Grim Reaper can exist in different places and different times, which I think is really awesome. And then, like I said, I mean, it goes into explaining like what the Grim Reaper is, and then it explains like lesser death. So it explains, while the Grim Reaper might not do this, he has servants that can do this, or he might not work with these people. So that's what I was talking about when I was meaning that they're expanding on that, you know, the ecology of how these entities act with one another. I mean, you've got some really creepy dudes in here. It's exactly what you expect out of a Bestiary. What makes this one a little different is, like I said, they're more attention to detail with each of the monsters and the creatures. They are also working better with their formatting. There's new monster feats in here. There are rules to modify these monsters. So, if, for instance, if you're looking at a Skinwalker and he doesn't fit what you need, there's rules to modify this Skinwalker as it is without having to create something brand new, because this, what I was saying in the beginning is that they're doing a lot of work with saving and kind of compiling their books down, so that way you don't have a rule in Bestiary 5 that's explained in Bestiary 1. It just references you back to Bestiary 1, so your book's not thick and you don't have a lot of fluff. But there's a lot of different rules in here for like natural attacks, things like that. Bestiary 5 is just, it's solid. If you're gonna play any Pathfinder game, especially if you're in the Hell's Rebels Adventure Path or anything like that, this is definitely a bestiary that you want to pick up. It's a book that I think everybody should have, but that was a quick look at it. Even if you don't have the previous bestiaries, I think that this will be a solid buy for you, especially if you're into like some of the darker stuff, some of the devils, some of the demons, some of the angels, if you want to build like a big celestial campaign, or if you want some stats for the Grim Reaper to kind of let, you know, maybe a looming thing come over your campaign if you're trying to think of something like that. But yeah, this is very solid, so make sure that you pick this up and add it to your collection. Thank you very much, Paizo, for sending me a copy of the Bestiary 5. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If there's anything in these Pathfinder books that you want to see specifically, just let me know. Drop me a comment, and we'll definitely do our best to show you what you want to see. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks as always for watching, and until next time, happy gaming, so long as you avoid the Grim Reaper.